I'm muted. Can you hear me now? You hear? Okay. Right? Okay, we're starting with Musa first, yes? Because that's what we do before the Olam gets on. Yes, the learning should be a sort of for Yitzchak Yaakov. Ben Devar that he should have a Shalema amongst Shar Israel and for Ukraine and all the people that have tzaddikim. Okay, so we'll start with a little bit of Musa just to be because that's our minute, our new minute. Yeah. So we're talking about Shar Ahava, the Shar of love, That's and he's going through how you're supposed to show different love for different things in life. So we're up to family. So he says, how does it go? Orphan tzadikim. Your brother, can you hear me? Should I stand up? I know what I'm saying. Stand, you can hear me? So how do you go about loving your brothers and sisters? You should love them this way. Family is icing with you to bring you to Milas Toivas. And family, the reason why you should love them is because family helps you grow as a yid. And you are icing with your family to teach them and to give them musar, and you don't try and face them too much. And with this, you'll have schar. And it's a meaning you shouldn't put your anger onto your relatives. And there's a lot of tayeles for people to have with their relatives. You see, by light, so light, because of his relationship with Avram Avinu, got saved. Had light not been Avram Avinu's cousin, this is talking about the ultimate protectia. The ultimate pull is that light survived strictly because he didn't deserve it. Right? He did it. He survived because of Avram. The Gambestein needs to discuss Avram. The year of Rei of the Sharkal Yisrael Abba Shlema. Oh, so this is mamish apropos for tonight. That the year of Rei of the Sharkal Yisrael Abba Shlema. That you should love your friends and the rest of Klal Yisrael with a ahava shlema. The kayim ashenem or v'haftal l're'afa kamoicha. To be Makayim, the rule of Yapil L'Rafa Kamoicha. Right? The Zekhal Godo B'Torah, the Allah Sani, L'Chavra L'Sav. Anything that you hate, don't do it to your friend. The Godo Mizek, Yitzelem Elikim, also as Ha'adam, Hashem made us as a Tzelem Elikim. Right? The Yesh Tayelis Kedoyla, L'Misha Noik, Chibo, Bereis, and B'nei Adam. There's a big Tayelis for those that show Chiba and Reis and friendship with B'nei Adam. Next question. We're doing Muslim. Tayelis Achas Bailam Haseh. The one Tayelis of friendship is in this world. You have friendship in this world. The Shniya Olam Haba. Yeah, and the second word is Olam Haba. Why? Tayelis Olam Haseh. What's a Tayelis Olam Haseh? Be friendly with people. Kimishim Isnag Ba'avim Kol Adam Yasru Hakol. Somebody who's noyeg with love, so people are going to help him. Right? Okay, I guess we could stop over there. But basically, he's saying that if you have friendship and you have a lot of friendships, it helps you in this world and it helps you in the next world. It helps you in this world simply to survive. Without friendship, you can't survive. And in the next world, you have friends and you do good things and mitzvahs together. So that brings you to the next world. So I think we have created something in a Zoom chevra, right? As weird as it sounds, but the bottom line is it's a chevra that there's a reis, even though we make fun of each other and we fight each other, but that's a real reis. It's a real yeah. And we should have turned it enough time. Right? No, it's a real reis. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a third Naftali. No third Naftali if that guy's smart. But anyway, No, but really, it's a friendship that we have, that we've developed, new friendships, old friendships, and we learn together, and we hang out together, and we laugh together. I don't know if we cry together, but we laugh together. And we learn together, and it's going to bring, it gives us something to this world. Certainly tonight, it gives us a lot of honor in this world. And Bez Hashem in the next world too.
Amen.
Okay, so then we'll continue. Let's continue. So just to finish off from last night's daf, because we went very fast. So there's a few interesting things from yesterday's daf. So the Gemara had asked that the Gemara had asked that the Aron is not mekabel tumah. Right? That's what the Gemara said. Aron is not mekabel tumah, and the Gemara had asked that why didn't you say that it is mekabel tumah, because it's lined with metal, it's gold, and the Gemara brings a raya from marble. Whatever it is, anything that's lined with metal is considered like metal. So this has a lot of practical halachic implications, and it would be worthwhile just to discuss it, which is in two ways. One is China. Do you have to toivel China? China's earthenware, right? So it shouldn't need. China should not need, but it's glazed with glass. So the question is that glass? Do we look glass? You have to toivel. Earthenware you don't toivel, right? So do you have to toivel earthenware? China, or all these other things. So Lamaisa, what? So what's okay? So what the practical, whether we do, whether we don't. Certainly, if you do it without a bracha, that's for sure. I've never heard of any opinion that says that you do it with a bracha, right? But again, the point is, it's the same thing from this Gemara. Because this Gemara, the ikar is wood. The ikar is wood. But since it's lined, so then that's a problem. So therefore, I think the psak for most places nowadays is you toivel it without a bracha. Although there are some that say that our glaze is so thin, it's not like the old China. Our glaze is so thin that it's nothing, and really it's earthenware. That's one. And the other one, they get to a barbecue, is you have those the tongs and stuff that's plastic. Some of them are plastic, silicone, and then there's metal on the end or there's metal inside. Common question: do those need tefillah? Right. So there, it's the opposite. A lot of times, it's the opposite. It's the metal that's on the inside, and it's the plastic on the outside. Right? What? George Foreman. Right. So Lamaisa, we're machmer the toivel, the marble. Right. Correct. Right. So that's right. So, but Lamaisa, we say that we go with both. Of course, we're machmer both ways. And you got to toivel both. You got to toivel both of them without a bracha. Okay. So that was the halacha Lamaisa from last night. Okay. So now we're up to the two dots. We are up to the two dots from Zion and Aleph. Yeah, about 10 lines down, give or take. Yeah. Good. Okay, so kol hakelim shebamikdash yesh lem shniyim. So all the kelim in the mikdash had doubles, except for the mizbeachos. Both mizbeachos did not have doubles. Mizbeach and the chayshes. So the mizbeach and the chayshes, the copper mizbeach, the sieve whatever. Okay, bronze, the sieve. Mizbeach Adoma Tasali, Mizbeach, so that it says Mizbeach Adoma. So it's considered, the Mizbeach is considered part of the ground, and since it's part of the ground, it's not mekabel tumah. Mizbeach Hazav, the Siv Hamanoirav Mizbeachas, Iskish Mizbeachas Eliezer. So they make a hektish of Mizbeach one to the other, and since the Mizbeach and the Chayshes is considered Adoma, so then the Mizbeach Hazav is also. Fine. The Chachamim say that it's lined. So now the kasha is pretty obvious. So if mitzupin should make it that it is mekabel tumah. I mean, the Mishnah says, if you go back in the Mishnah, you just look back in the Mishnah a minute, it says that kol hakelim in the mikdash, everything needed tefillah except in the mizbeach hazav and the mizbeach and the chayshes, because they're like karka, they're not mekabel tumah. And the Chachamim say because they're what do you call them, mitzupin? They're plated, right? So they're plated. So if they're plated, they should be mekabel tumah. Right? So what do the Chachamim mean? So the Gemara says, what's a pshat? So the Gemara asks, even the mitzupin since they're lined, they're plated, then they should become tamei. So the Gemara says, yes, we have to read the Mishnah's aim of Chachamim mitamin mepnei shehem mitzupin. The Chachamim disagree, and they say that the mizbeach is tamei because it's plated. Diva is saying, well, really no, they're not disagreeing, but they're saying Rabbanan and Rabbi Eliezer come on. The Rabbanan are going according to Rabbi Eliezer. My daita What's your das? Mishum de mitzupin. Your das is maybe that that it's mitzupa, so therefore it will be mekabel tumah. Mitzel batel tzipui gavayim. It's batel, right? The tzipui is the what do you call it? The plated is the plated is yes. The aron? Who touched the aron?
It was made by a Jew. That's the repairs.
So I understand. So what we're not talking about the aron. You're saying kol ha'kelim except for the mizbeach. So what about the aron? What?
Is that considered a fruit?
If the mizbeach is considered a kli, I'm going to answer you. I'm going to say very balabatish. I'm going to say very balabatish. What? No, but even without that, the Mishnayos is the second base on Mikdash. There was no aron. I know you're not going to like that, Terry. I know. I told you. Unfortunately, now you could ask a kasha. I'll represent Rabbaran with his kasha. So we have a base on Mikdash. It's 5,000 years old. The world, almost 6,000. We only had a base of Mikdash for 800 years, and of that, we hardly had an aron even. Right? How could it be? Okay. What? Anyway. Okay, so that's the way to learn the Gemara. Okay, so Amar Rabbi Bo, Amar Rabbi Eliezer. Yeah. Yeah, Amar Rabbi Bo, Amar Rabbi Eliezer. The second while I down. Talmud Chacham ein or shel Gehinom sheletes behem. This Gemara should be a big physics for all of us. This next Gemara, okay? So I'm 100% I'll figure it myself.
The most important Gemara.
Not the most important Gemara, but let me just tell you something. Okay?
Yeah. Tonight is a very important Gemara.
It happens to be that if you're an avarian, which we're not going to say who is and who's not, okay? Then this Gemara is very important, okay? Yes, 100%. So Amar Rabbi Bo, Amar Rabbi Eliezer, Talmud Chacham ein or shel Gehinom sheletes behem. A Talmud Chacham, the Or of Gehinom is not going to rule over him. Kavachorim is salamander. It's a Kavachorim from the salamander. And what is the salamander? Is not those things that it's orange, so it probably does come from that. But Uma salamander shatoldas eishi. This salamander comes from fire, which Rashi says it's a chaya that was created from fire. That sat in one place for 7 years, and then it creates this salamander type thing that fire cannot affect it at all, right? Can't burn it at all. Unlike all the food from tonight, that fire affects it very nicely, right? So Ma Salamander should told us Eishi Hasach Madam how do you say it? Hasach. What? No, Hasach midama ain't or sheletes boy. So if you smear from the blood of it on you, since it repels fire, so if you rub yourself with the blood from this salamander, then you're going to be fire's not going to. So Talmud Chacham, shekol gufan eish, a Talmud Chacham whose whole body is fire. So Talmud Chacham, whose whole body is made from fire, so then I guess you're going to call it Eish HaTorah or whatever it is. So then, therefore, he's also going to be, he's going to repel any sort of heat. So therefore, Gehinom is not going to affect him. Now that's okay. So Talmud Chacham Gehinom is not going to affect. What? So it sounds like he still has to go to Gehinom, right? That is a good point. Yeah.
Well, we're friends, that's what it is.
Okay, but it's not going to affect him. What's the one effect? It's the greatest thing you can have. I did. Then comes along Reish Lakish. Who Reish Lakish? The history says was from the biggest Bali Tshuva in history, right? Reish Lakish. Comes along Reish Lakish and he says, "Ein or shel Gehinom sheletes b'paishe Yisrael." Gehinom is not going to even affect paishe Yisrael. Now, paishe Yisrael is a strong term. Paisheya is almost the worst type of person to do an aveiros. Right? A paisheya is somebody he doesn't care. right? It's not shot. Somebody does a ba'inus and he was lazy. No, he's after being a pesheya. And Reish Lakish is saying that a pesheya, Gehinom is not going to affect him. Kavachon mizbeach hazav is a kavachon mizbeach hazav. Not mizbeach hazav she'ein alav ela kaluvei dinar zav. The golden mizbeach only has the thickness of a dinar. Gold, the thickness of a dinar, right? It's plated the way we said with gold that's only that thick. Kama shonim ein harsha let this boy. So for many years the ore does not rule over it, doesn't melt it down. So Paisha Yisrael should belay in mitzvahs karima. So Paisha Yisrael who still have as many mitzvahs as a pomegranate, which again you see that there's the tying in the pomegranate to doing mitzvahs, which is what we do on Rosh Hashanah. But okay, well I don't know where is the Paisha Yisrael full of mitzvahs? Where from? Right? Because you do good things. You wear tzitzis. I mean, I don't know if he wears tzitzis. It's Paisha Yisrael. He's still frum. We're not talking about a guy that's not frum. I think.
Maybe one means for him.
What? No, it's not Paisha. Oh, so what type of Paisha are we talking about? It's the Tosfos says. Sounds like this is worse. I would think. Yeah, I would think it's worse than Amoritz. Yeah. So Tosfos says it's not talking about a Paisha Yisrael b'gufo. It's not. That's not what it's talking about. A guy that's actively doing, right? Because that we have the Gemaras and Rosh Hashanah and Eruvin that's they go to Gehinom, right? So it can't be that. So exactly what it is, I'm not sure. And then see, this is a kasha on Mike. Tosfos is really asking a kasha on you. Because Tosfos asks a question from the Gemara in Hazav that says everybody goes to Gehinom except for 3 people. What's the kasha? You're saying that they do go to Gehinom, that your fire just doesn't affect them. Tosfos is not learning like that. Because Tosfos is learning that they don't go to Gehinom. Right? They don't go to Gehinom. So Tosfos says, no, it says that it's only talking, there's a place that everybody goes to get judged. And after 12 months, everybody comes out of there. So everybody gets judged in some way. Not everybody necessarily goes to Gehinom. Whatever that means. Whatever that means, I don't know. What? To get, yeah. The kasha is, so why be a Talmud Chacham? No. Why should you be a Talmud Chacham? You got 2 Gemaras there. One says a Talmud Chacham, Gehinom doesn't affect him, and the other one is the Paisha Yisrael. So if I had a choice to be a Paisha Yisrael or Talmud Chacham, I'm ending up in the same place. That Gehinom's not going to affect me. So why should I be a Talmud Chacham?
Might not get the pomegranate full of mitzvahs. You might not have a pomegranate full of mitzvahs.
Just in case you have pasta when you move up.
Oh, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. Like, where's his Olam Hazeh? Very good. Right. So what are you saying?
This is tonight. This is the only Gemara on I'm done.
I tell you, I gave a couple of Bachim rides home from a chasana the other night, and they both asked me this kasha, not knowing that this Gemara was coming up. They said, because they were talking about kids that are going off the derek, and he said that almost all kids come back from Hashem. They may have, a few rough years, teenage year, whatever it is, they come back. And I said, they end up in the same place, they end up in the same spot. So he said, yes. So one of the kids asked, so is that fair? They end up in the same spot, but they had a few years of fun, and I sat in yeshiva like an idiot.
They found the perfect car. So what do you answer? Wait, what do you answer?
I said, that's a good question. It's a good question. What?
No, just in case you possibly like a revolt. I don't know. Singing or something.
Anyway, okay, so that is the Ksiv, right? So it's because it says in the pasuk, I'm going to go back a minute to one. I wanted to finish over the previous Gemara, but the Ksiv. So anyway, how do you know that even a Peshay of Yisrael has so many mitzvahs? Like The broken open rima is your brain. I'll take a rakaset elevate konin shabbat. Don't read it rakaset. Read it with the empty people. Alachas kama v'kama. So how much are they? It's for sure that they're going to have schusim. So the Gemara is saying that everybody, I guess, when you do good things, even if you're a pisheya, then you are not going to. Gehinom is not going to affect you, which is an important thing, I think. Gehinom scares a lot of people. So you're going to go to Gehinom, go to Gehinom, right? And then it's not going to. Even if you're a pisheya, Gehinom is not going to burn you. Now, some want to say, I think it's a Taisus Yeshanim that says, to answer our question a little bit, so why should I be a Talmud Chacham? He says the Talmud Chacham is not going to be affected by it at all, but the Reikonim are they're going to turn black. There's going to be some sort. It's not going to melt them down, but it's going to be a little bit black. Okay. Just before we say the Hadron, so the previous Gemara before the two dots says that what's mechaper for us? What's mechaper b'zman hazeh? So it says that the shulchan of a person is going to be mechaper for us instead of the mizbeach. Why? Because you do what's Rashi? So Rashi says the shulchan is mechaper on v'achnasas archim. You do achnasas archim. So then memela you're doing mitzvahs, and that the shulchan is called the table, right? So the shulchan is called the table, and you do, and that's mechaper for us. Which the kasha that the Olam should ask, which I didn't think of, is the Gemara in Megillah and the Gemara in Tainus that says, what do you mean? The way we get kapara nowadays, we read the psukim of the karbanos, right? So that's how we get kapara. So what's with the table? Okay, it's a kasha. But first, I want to say what. I guess so. I guess that's the same thing. The pashe. Why say the karbanos to be the Talmud Chacham, be the pashe, and you get the kapara that way? Okay, it fits all in. So Ershtin, so Achnosas Arkim, so thank you to Rabban Kaplan and to whoever and to Peret Stamp for hosting the Zoom and arranging all the things. And okay, and then for the Olam for participating in all ways, shapes, and forms. And Avada the chef, it's not the same. I can tell you right now, it's a
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I want to thank you guys because due to your Torah, which I haven't quite heard so often, I too learned Daf Yomi.
Baruch Hashem. Listen, these are my best meals in a year. Right here. I'm serious. My wife is not on.
Usually it's just self.
Anyways, so the shulchan. Now there's a Rabbeinu. There's a Rabbeinu Bachya, a famous Rabbeinu Bachya, famous one, in Pashas Truma, that says based on this Gemara, that's where the Chachmis Tzorfas or Tzvas. No, I think it's Tzvas. Used to bury themselves in their tables. They used to bury, based on this Gemara, when you hear that people want to be buried with their table, based on this Gemara, Rabbeinu Bachya and Pashas Truma says that that's where we get it from, because that brings it. And Rav Shlomo wanted to, with the, right. Yeah, no, they make the orange. The Chofetz Chaim supposedly, the Chofetz Chaim's, the box. It wasn't a box. They didn't bury it in a box. The beer of the Chofetz Chaim was supposedly it was a shtender that they made it out of a shtender. Anyways, what's the point? What's the point? So the bottom line is very few people, before we had the Zoom chabura learning Daf Yomi, imagine a lot of us were not sitting at home learning at night. At least I wasn't. Or blue jeans or whatever came out before. The bottom line is based on this Chofetz Chaim also that his shtender. So that means it's not only the way Rashi says it, although I think that we're mekayim achnasas archim by our tables, we're mekayim a virtual achnasas archim by being together every night. No, seriously, at the risk of sounding cheesy, but l'maisa, it's achnasas archim. We let each other into each other's homes, sometimes a little too much. Right? No, but and bottom line is now a lot of us are sitting at home on our tables. and that's or in the car, but sitting for the most part sitting at our table. I was thinking that maybe we should be buried with our computers or our iPads. But that's a different. Anyways,
the Gehinom won't touch it.
anyways, the oilam should continue, and we started now Musar and Baruch Hashem. It's an oilam that's growing, and it's a givaldic thing to grow together. And we should continue growing until hopefully Mashiach came and
Building fund.
Okay. So,
Starting a building fund.
okay, so how do Allah Khayr B'Kodesh Stigal of Masechet Chagigah? Okay, so the oilam should read along, and then Naftali will treat us with his kaddish. Yeah. Okay, so, okay. Hadron Allah Masechet Chagigah say the Moed V'Adar Chalon. Hadron Allah Masechet Chagigah say the Moed V'Adar Chalon. Like this, the Shem enough Masechet Chagigah. Say the Moed V'Lassis Shem Inan. Like Ba'amadev, like Ba'amadas. Hadron Allah Masechet Chagigah say the Moed V'Adar Chalon. Hadron Allah Masechet Chagigah say the Moed V'Adar Chalon. Like this, the Shem enough Masechet Chagigah say the Moed V'Lassis Shem Inan. Like Ba'amadev, like Ba'amadas. Hadron Allah Masechet Chagigah say the Moed V'Adar Chalon. Hadron Allah Masechet Chagigah say the Moed V'Adar Chalon. Like this, the Shem enough Masechet Chagigah say the Moed V'Lassis Shem Inan. Like Ba'amadev, like Ba'amadas. Yiratzayin Mopanach Adonai Eloheinu B'Lei Aveiros Shnei Sarasro Menasenu B'Olam Hazeh. Say Maru B'Olam Haba, Chagina Bar Papa, Rami Bar Papa, Nachman Bar Papa, Achoy Bar Papa, Avamari Bar Papa, Rafram Bar Papa, Rochesh Bar Papa, Sukkah Bar Papa, Alda Bar Papa, Dara Bar Papa. Adonai Adonai Eloheinu Estibrei Saras V'Nefinu Pibes Am Chabeis Yisrael V'Nia Kulanu Anachnu V'Tzetzeinu V'Tzetzei Tzetzeinu V'Tzetzei Am Chabeis Yisrael Kulanu Yedei Shemecha V'Lei Medei Sarasecha L'Shva. V'Yoy V'Sech Admeni V'Tzetzecha Ki L'Olam Hili Yehi Livi T'Samim V'Kech L'Man L'Yevesh L'Olam V'Yeshach V'Yodach V'Gam Ki Yisani Baruch Atah Adonai Lamadeni Fukecho Amen 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 Selo V'Eh. V'Dim Anachnu L'Fanach Adonai Eloheinu B'Lei Aveiros Shesamtu V'Kenim Yesh V'Beis HaMikdash L'Samtu V'Kenim Yesh V'Kranis Ono Mashkimim V'Em Mashkimim Ono Mashkimim V'Divrei Torah V'Em Mashkimim V'Konim V'Telim Ono Amen 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 Ono Amen Mekabel Star V'Em Amen Amen Mekabel Star Ono Rotzim V'Em Rotzim Ono Rotzim L'Chayon Baba V'Em Rotzim L'Shachas Shenem V'Anshe L'Yim Teridim L'Shachas Anshe Domim Mimba L'Yachtu Yemem V'Ani Yeftach Ba Yiratzayin L'Fanach Adonai Elihai Hashem Shesatan L'Sayim Masechet Chagigah V'Seder Moed Kain Tazreini L'Aslam Masechet Zisvarim Achedim L'Sayim Vilmoed L'Lamid Lishma V'Lassis L'Kaim Kol Divrei Samach V'Retzech V'Yahava V'Schus Kol HaTanoim V'Amiroi V'Samidei Chachamim Yameli L'Zari Sh'Lesomu Sh'Atverim V'Piu V'Zari V'Zera Zari Ad Olam V'Skayim V'i V'Salecha V'Tan K'Oitzach V'Shokuvah Tishmor Alecha V'Titzaysa Hi V'Sichecha Kibi Yirbu Yomech V'Yasiku Sh'Lecha Shnois Chayim Oyrech Yom V'Yimina V'Smaila Oysher V'Chavayit Adonai Oiz L'Amoy Yitein Adonai Yivarech Esamoy V'Shaloi
Iskadel v'Iskadei Shemer Abo Yamad Yehuda Asif V'Eskavizor V'Achaya V'Masul V'Sakal Yosef V'Achaya Omo V'Nei Karta V'Yushalim V'Shalala V'Lei V'Gavol V'Ekad V'Chana V'Ra'a Min Ara V'Hav Sova V'Chana V'Yishmaya L'Asrei Yamut Kucha B'Richu V'Nafusek V'Kore V'Yatzmach V'Kore V'Kore V'Shipei Chayei Choy V'Yomei Choy V'Chai V'Chai V'Yisrael Hagel V'Zman Karev V'Ru Amen Gehinom comes from Rabbi, Kina the Pistol, that's what kind of wicked, the Zan and Rebecca, the Covenant, the Covenant, the Roy, the Shmaya, the Ruamay, the Haysam Rabbi Shmaya, the Chayim Elena, the Kol Yisrael, the Ruamay. I said, Shalom, Bimamov, Bubarachamov, Yasser Shalom Elena, the Kol Yisrael, the Ruamay. Many more.
Good, everybody.
Everybody, not the time. Okay, sorry.
I'm going to give you guys the overview, so you don't have to look at Gershon. Just in case anybody was upset that there are no women.
Big crowd.
Oh wait, Bubby.
Oh, your mother?
Yeah,
Esther.
she can't hear. She can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Bring me closer. Let me hear.
Hold on. Whoops.
All my townships are good.
Hold on. Let me show you.
Rafe, I was thinking about you, Rafe. I saw your daughter last week. She's beautiful.
Thank you. Let's get her married.
Rafe, you're not getting old. You're just
The
getting
second
good.
cut. Where's the second cut? It's coming
Dude, you're looking.
Right, Rafe? Oh, it's so good to have you. Have a lot of nachas. Very
Thank you,
looking forward
thank
to
you.
Rafe.
Thank you. Very looking forward.
Hello. The second cut. That's what you're really missing, Kat. I don't know. This is it.
Are we starting Yavamos or can I go to bed?
I don't know. I can't. I didn't see it.
Parents, how did it come out to me?
I went to see some out.
Mazel tov, Jesse. Yishai.
Girl, looks like brick.
Parents.
There's so much food still coming out. So he says to me,
Rafe, are we starting Yavamos tonight or no?
Parents, are you starting in Minnesota now? Tomorrow.
They have also here and
They are stuffing their face. L'chaim, everybody, l'chaim. Simon. L'chaim.
Not yet.
that was a setup by your store.
yeah, she's eating food.
Right here. There it is.
Looks good.
I'm gonna go there.
That meat looks really good.
Not the way you're eating. Brisket is no.
Even the bread.
My mother. My mother. He wants rare. My mother. Oh. That's rare. Guy, when do we start your Yavamas? Tomorrow. Tomorrow we start. Jacob, are you giving your Yavamas from upstate or no? You're gonna give your Yavamas from upstate? Jacob's gonna give it. Jacob's gonna give it from the bungalow colony.
Okay. See you tomorrow.